welcome to the live stream. We are actually back, and we're doing the aftermath of what has been one hell of a weekend, to say the least. So, what was supposed to be 2 gigs turned into a 3 gig weekend that turned into a 4 event weekend, which is absolutely mind blowing. So we're going to delve into the aftermaths of the gigs, and I've got some exciting news to tell you as well, and we've got a few little bits and bobs to talk about and discuss. Now, I will pre-warn you that I am absolutely shattered. I have, like I say, I've done 4 events this weekend, gigged at 3 of them, and that's sort of like late nights, sort of 3 days in a row. So I am feeling a little bit tired, to say the least, and yeah. So I might look a bit tired. I might not sound as energetic as I normally do, but trust me, I am excited and buzzed for what's happened. And like I said, there's some exciting news to tell you as well, which will be in the first part of the stream as well, because it sort of coincides with what we'll be talking about first, which is chain reaction. So Friday was all about chain reaction in Sheffield, and I was playing as part of their bank holiday back-to-back special, and they put a nice little night on. And one thing I really like about Chain Reaction is they're doing a really brilliant job of trying to push like new up and coming and kind of like local talent. They're literally crying out for it. They're posting online about it, that they want to see the new up and coming DJs, and they want, to hear this new talent. They want people to come down and support the events and leave like USB sticks and CDs with mixes on. They want people to inbox them. They want people to get in touch. They're crying out for it, and they're doing a really good job. And it's really good because sometimes there's really great talent out there from people that just for whatever reason don't push themselves. And there's some really great DJs who you think, what, they should be doing more events. And there's little opportunities like this that could get their foot in the door to getting that initial experience of playing a set in a nightclub, and it could be a really good thing for them. And you never know what it leads to. And if you've got this kind of like passion, and you've got this like this dream, and you get that opportunity to fulfill that dream, then you've got to take it and you've got to grasp it. And Chain Reaction, literally, giving people the chance to take that opportunity, and sort of be in a nightclub environment, be behind the decks and play a set live. So they had a back-to-back special. They put some like new and fresh talent on, and then they put some of the big boys, the old school names on. So like Nats and Marcus and stuff like that. They were absolutely smashing it up. And then there was Alchemist and some other local and regular DJs, and then like you say, the new talent. So it took place at the Record Junkie on Friday, and that is kind of like a record shop, and then they've got like a music venue upstairs. And I think the only way to describe it is they put a lot of bands on and stuff, and it's kind of reminds me of that sort of typical grassroots venue, which I've come to know quite a lot about through my youth work and stuff. So it really has that vibe when you go up there. There's a little bar there, and then there's like a little stage area. And normally when the deck's out there, you could picture guitars and drum kits and amplifiers, and you could picture a sound technician doing all of the magic there for bands and stuff. But for Friday night, it was transformed into a mini rave, if you like. It was really good. So all the sets were banging. Everyone seemed to smash it. Some really good hardcore sets, some really good old school sets. And then I took the 1 o'clock set, so I was doing the 1 a.m. set, which I'm not going to lie, I was kind of nervous about it because it was a little bit of a, I don't know, I just for some reason it felt like a little bit of a biggish deal, and then I was taking over from the headliner as well, which was, again, when you're taking over from the headliner is, normally like the main attraction of the night, one of the main reasons why people, would attend and buy a ticket to, to attend the event. And a headliner's sort of like smash it, and then you've kind of got that job of, hang on a second, how do you kind of go on the decks and sort of follow on from what he's just done? He's the main guy, and you've got to follow this guy. So I ain't gonna lie, the nerves were deep. I was supposed to be back to back with DJ Turner, but he was a no-show, and I was supposed to have MC Royce on my set alongside Rupture, but Royce was a no-show. So it just ended up being me and Rupture, and then some other people jumped on the mic, which I don't mind, but I wish, like, whoever is allocated to my set, like, it would just be them that would kind of do the set, because I kind of feel like everything just goes a little bit messed up, and then 1 minute you've got one MC babbling, and then the next minute you've got another MC babbling, and I think for me personally, I like having a host on my set. I like people that, just go on the stage, they do the full hours job, they host, and they do an amazing job. And this is why I'm a really big fan of having the layman on my set. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, the layman, you have him on because he's your best mate, rah, rah, rah. And, it's got absolutely zero to do with the fact that I just want him on because he's my best mate. The truth is, when the layman is on the mic, he does a good job. He's not too much with the bars. He's nice and hosty. He lets the music breathe. He just brings something about him to the set that gets people more energetic. So like we've turned up to events before where the nightclub's not been necessarily really busy, but the people that are there, they've been sat down. And then by the time we've come on and been on about 10 minutes, he's got them up on the dance floor, and they're singing along and they're having a good time. And I just think Lehman complements a set really well, because he's kind of there saying, look, the DJ's smashing it, not coming on like the mic and just spitting all the way through and making the whole set about him, which, no offences to the other MCs. It's just, in recent times, believe it or not, as much as I love MCing myself and spitting bars and stuff like that, I've come to like and respect that, hosts can sometimes do a better job than an MC, just by giving a vibe to the night, and kind of letting, people know that the DJ is the one that's in control and they're smashing it. Rather than, like I say, coming on and, spitting all their best lyrics, and you can't hear the music properly, and they've made it all about them. But I had a really good set. So I started off with Bounce, and the bounce, I'm going to be completely honest, the bounce wasn't fully working for the crowd. So when I was booked like to go back to back with Turner and play a bounce set, and then obviously Turner didn't attend, and the headliner before me, he obviously was not a bounce headliner. He was an old school DJ, but he went quite hard. He went quite heavy, and and the crowd kind of just had this like real kind of like heavyish set, and then it was kind of like I came in with a bounce, and it kind of like toned it down a little bit, and a few people were a little bit like not as keen, so a few people sort of used it as an opportunity to kind of filter out and either go home or like go and have a cigarette, and get some fresh air because it's warm inside. Maybe, not that they necessarily didn't like me, but, just one of them, like, no offences, but this isn't really my type of music. I liked the sort of harder stuff that was on before. So, oh, pardon. So, I played a bit of bounce. I tried to switch it up a bit, tried to play a little bit sort of on the harder bounce, and not sort of really go as commercially as I normally would, and try to go a little bit harder and sometimes a bit less vocally as well. And then took it up sort of into a little bit of hard dance, and just kind of see sort of where where we kind of went from there. And then sort of from the hard dance, I pitched it up into like a little bit of kind of like reverse bassy, sort of hardcore, and finished off with hardcore going proper heavy, into the 170 label vibes, which was absolutely fantastic. And they really loved it, and I got the crowd back. And the set was just amazing, and people didn't expect it from me. People didn't think that I was going to pull out that kind of set, and the fact that I was booked to do a bounce set, and then I just kind of switch it up, and then I go and pull that out. And none of it was planned either. It was all just what I did, at the time live on the decks. There was no pre-planning at home. It was just kind of one of them, like, like it blew people away. They didn't expect like Noble to play that hard. Like Jesus Christ, and you went in hard, didn't you, Noble? Like they didn't expect it because I do a lot of bounce. Although I'm not just bounce, like I do have love for other music because I do love the bounce and I push the bounce so much. A lot of people don't necessarily always know that it's other music that I've got love for, or that I can even play other music. People see me do bounce, 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 and they don't picture me doing other genres, so they think of me as a bounce DJ, which typically my fault because I love bounce and I push it quite a lot, and it is one of my favourite genres. But I just think when I came out there and started going, and some of these drops, like they were really heavy. It wasn't just I wasn't just saying it, like they were really heavy. So I think it blew people away. That was kind of the that was the vibe, that was the situation that was going on. So yeah, so that was the set, and like I say, I finished off like proper heavy and hard, and then Owen NRG came on and went back to back with Tyler D, and they went into some bounce, and I've got to say, Owen NRG is absolutely smashing it at the moment. He's smashing everything he does, and he is one hell of a DJ as well. For his age, and he's just got he's got everything bright in front of him, and I've got to say that I've got nothing but love and respect for the kid. Like Chain Reaction, he smashed it. He played like really heavy, hard pounding donk, and the mixing and all of that was it was second to none. The set was just absolutely belting. And then I seen him last night, which we'll get onto a little bit later on. But again, even there, he absolutely demolished the set, and he just absolutely smashes it. And he goes to like Wigan and stuff, and plays the like This Is Bounce UK, and does a lot of stuff with with Kenty, and just absolutely smashes the vibe, and it really kills it. The only thing that I really wish Owen would do was get onto some more production. He did a remix of Let Her Go, and it's a belting remix, and I play it loads, in sets, and like when I'm at home, I play it all the time. I absolutely love the tune, and I want him to jump on some more filthy stuff like that, because he could do even better if he got more tunes under his belt. You know, so he absolutely killed it. But Chain Reaction was absolutely amazing. We got home about 5:30, I think. 5:30 or something. And then it was all, get your ass to sleep, Noble, because you're going to Stoke-on-Trent tomorrow. Um, Little did I think it was just Stoke-on-Trent, but no, it wasn't just Stoke-on-Trent. So Saturday came along. Felt actually a little bit tired, but wasn't too bad. Got up. I got playing around with some edits and stuff, and we hit the road about 4 in the afternoon. Set off all the way to go to Stoke-on-Trent for Bounce to Infinity. Got there, the place was filling up, quite nicely. They'd opened at 5 o'clock, so they'd opened quite early. While we was on the way there, well, no, before I set off, I got a text from Alondo, and he was throwing his birthday bash in Grimsby. Now, originally, the story behind this is originally he wanted me to MC at that event, and I told him, I said, I'm sorry, mate, I'm already booked in Stoke, and he was like, oh, gutted, but no worries. And then we seen him last week at another birthday event in Grimsby, and we spoke about the possibility of me doing a set. And I said, look, I'll find out my set time for Bounce to Infinity, and then me and the layman will come back to Grimsby after Bounce to Infinity. you know. Set times came about, and I had a little bit of a wiggle around, and I said, look, I've got the chance to do another booking. Is there any chance I can have a bit of an earlier set time? And the guys at Bounce to Infinity, they worked things out, and they gave me an earlier set time. Which I thought, all right, that's cool, thank you. And then Alondo gave us 4 a.m. For the set time, so I pitched it back to Lee and I said, look, we could go back to Grimsby, but the set time would be 4 a.m. And Lehman just said, no, I can't do that, it's too late. And, a lot of driving, and to still be about that time, after driving like nearly 3 hours to Stoke-on-Trent, and then, 2.5 hours back to Grimsby, and all of that stuff, and just being, so late. We just thought no. So I told Alondo, and that was sadly the end of it. Until Saturday, when he rang us back up, and basically a DJ had pulled out, and it gave us the opportunity to take an earlier set. So I pitched it back to Lehman, and I said, look, would a 1 a.m. set time be any better for you? And he said, all right, yeah, that's cool, we'll do that. That's a lot better. So we went to Stoke and then came back to Grimsby. So Stoke was filling up. They'd open quite early. From what I saw on the videos, it got a lot busier after I left. I played 7 till 9 in the second room, which I'm going to be all honest. The second room is not that good of a room, and it doesn't really get that busy. And sometimes I do, again, nothing really against the brand, but I do beg to differ whether they even really need a second room, because a lot of people, I mean, you pass the second room as you go to the smoking area, but it is kind of disguised. It kind of like there's 2 doors, and the 2 doors stay shut, because the second room, it's relatively close to the first room, whereas if the doors were open, the music would sort of like coincide with each other. They'd probably clash. It's just kind of, I think a lot of people see it, and then some people wonder, like, oh, there's another room in here. So they come in and they have a little nosy. But as far as, like, the second room goes, it doesn't really, there's nothing to really drag people to it. Like, even if there was just something like a sign that would say, like, I don't know, for example, if there was like a little sign and it says like room 2 this way with an arrow, or there was kind of like, for example, like if there was a little poster or something that just had the room 2 line up on it, I think it would help it a little bit more. But I just, in sense, I just beg to differ. Does the event actually need a second room? Because it doesn't, again, like I got people to venture in, and towards the end of my set, I had people in there singing and dancing, so I did a good job. But like, it's just one of them rooms where, like, when there's and the main room looks really good. It's big. There's quite a big stage up there. There's a screen, and it looks more appealing. It looks more appetizing than the second room. The second room just kind of looks like a dark little room with minimal lights, and the pool tables being pushed to a side, and it almost kind of feels like you're in a function room more than you're in an actual nightclub. And for me, I just, it's the second time I played the room now. And, I did it last year, I did it this year. And, but really good vibe. I enjoyed my sets, and, really smashed it up and had a great lot of fun. But both times the room didn't exactly get what I'd call busy. And I just think, it just begs to to differ. Do we actually does it actually need the second room? Is is that the thing? Um, so I played a 2 hour set because a DJ didn't turn in, or a DJ couldn't make it. And I enjoyed it. I played some really good songs. I used it as an opportunity to test and, all right, will some of my own productions and things work? Which, in all hindsight, they did to an extent. There was one track that just needs beefing up a little bit, just sounds a little bit flat. But the other track I road tested, that sounded really good. And then there's another track that I played in Stoke, and that also didn't go down too bad either. And but I didn't get a chance to play that one in Grimsby, and the reason why is because it has quite a long breakdown, and I like the track, but it's just sometimes like for sets, it's the breakdown's a bit too long. That I think it could just get people a bit bored. But because of what the track is, you can't really not have that long breakdown. That's the only issue with it. So it was just kind of one of them things. But yeah, so we did the set, and then I come off the decks, and we had to kind of really sort of make a little bit of a dash for it. Little bit gutted because there were some good names on, and it would have been nice to have been able to stick around for a little bit. But there was another set to get to. There was another good few hours worth of driving. I finished at 9, and by the time we'd kind of got off the decks, and I'd like seen a couple of people, and I'd gone and said bye to people and found the promoters, and right, I've got to shoot now. Thank you for that. Really enjoyed it. Time was getting on. And we got to Grimsby just after midnight. So it was definitely we needed to set off kind of thing. We was on the decks at 1 o'clock in Grimsby, and we got there at something like 10 past, quarter past 12. So we had to kind of get to Grimsby, and by the time we got to Grimsby, bearing in mind we've just done Sheffield, the night before, we was feeling fairly tired. Um, the layman more than me, because obviously he's been driving. I've just been sat passenger, but I was still feeling tired myself. And of course that were it. We were quite tired, but we still jumped on. Gave a really good, enjoyable set at Grimsby. The only thing I hated about the set was it went too quick. It felt like I was no sooner playing my first track, and then I was no sooner playing me sort of final track, and the next DJ was sort of ready to turn up, and I was just kind of like, oh, it's over already. I think in Lehman enjoyed the set, but I think because he was so tired, I think he was kind of like glad that the set was over, and I think kind of. I think he was kind of a bit like, because I was thinking like, oh, I could easily like, oh, can't we stay on? That's what I was thinking, but I think he wouldn't have liked that idea. He's very much, like he knows when he's kind of had enough, and then, we were tired from the drive, so, sort of after the set, we wasn't long before we were ready to sort of head home. We didn't sort of really stick around at the event long, which that's not me personally. Like I don't always like doing that. I do like to stay at events and support things, but Saturday I was glad to kind of be going home. I was definitely tired. And then Sunday came along, and Sunday was wake up, all the gigs were down and done, and on Saturday it was a little bit of a, we wasn't certain. It was a bit of a hit and miss whether Lehman was going to be photographing the Future Beats event at Doncaster Warehouse. And I just kind of thought, we've done this crazy mission, and I said to Lehman, I said, if you do, if you really are going to pull it off and do the Future Beats tomorrow, I'll do it with you. And lo and behold, Sunday came and he texted me and he's doing the future beats, and I said, look, and I'll come with you. If you do the future beats, I'll do it too. Um, yeah. So lo and behold, um, 7:45 or something like that, he was picking me up from my house, and I was refreshed and changed. I was ready to hit up another event. And the good thing about it was Sunday, I literally stayed in bed all day because, we wasn't driving specifically far. So we didn't have to set off like mid-afternoon. We didn't have to set off in the morning. So literally, like, we got in again at like 5:30, going up for 6 o'clock. No, maybe a bit earlier actually. Sorry, a bit earlier when we came back from Grimsby. It was more like 3:30, I think. 3:30, 3:45. From then on, I had like a really good sleep. Like I just stayed in bed. So I think I slept till about 12 midday, and then I just sort of went back to sleep till about 2 in the afternoon, and then I sort of just laid in bed watching my phone sort of until about sort of 4 in the afternoon, and then kind of just sort of went to went to just sort of laid and then didn't get up, and then I thought, because at this point I knew Lehman was going, but I wasn't certain if I was going to go at first, because at first he was going to go somewhere else first. So he was kind of like, can you get would you be able to get the train? And then I was kind of thinking, like, can I be asked to walk all the way to the station, even though the station's not that far from my house? Can I be asked to walk there? Can I be asked to sit on a train for about, for just over an hour, and sit and listen to people talking about, the weather and how nice the bank holiday weekend's been, when I'm still feeling a bit done in. So I was thinking, do I do it? Don't I do it? And then Lehman texts me, and he said, look, well, what are you doing? And then I said, well, look, are you still going somewhere else first? And then he was, no. And then he was like, I'll come for you. I was like, all right, then let's do it. So I went over to the Doncaster warehouse, and I got sort of on the way, and we got fuel, and I was still a bit peckish from my tea, so I got a little sandwich deal, and I got an energy drink, and then I was drinking it, and on the way, and then I got quite a bad headache, and I think it was the energy drink that did it. And then sort of throughout the night, I had this bad headache at the event, and it really ruined it for me. Because it was there, the headache was there, and I was trying to enjoy the night, and to a degree, I did. Nothing against the night or the DJs or the acts. They all smashed it, and the place was busy, and it was a really good vibe. But I just every now and again I thought, fuck, oh, Jesus Christ, I've got a headache here, and it was quite bad. And I was trying to sort of like just keep hydrated. I stayed outside quite a lot, and sort of stayed around the outside terrace, the Bounce Elements Arena, and just kind of stayed there a bit where, it was a little bit cooler and wasn't, like really warm and sweaty in there. And then I'd just go in like now and again and have a little look at some of the acts inside, and then I'd sit down for a bit as well. I'd make sure sitting down was like quite a sort of like a big thing. And then yeah, did the event, enjoyed it. And then what really annoyed me is we left the event. I got sat in the car, and what happened? My headache went. Like my headache had gone. And I thought, like, towards the end of the night, my headache would go. But then, like throughout the night, like my headache was quite bad. So it kind of annoyed me. And then again, we got home at like I think we got home at like 4:30, going up for 5. Maybe even 5:30. It had got daylight outside. And I woke up like somewhere about 9:30, I think. So I haven't had all that much sleep again. And I'm travelling again today, believe it or not. But I'm only going to visit the grandparents. It's my granddad's birthday tomorrow. So big happy birthday to Ben Noble. His birthday tomorrow, another year older. and I haven't seen them for a good while, and they've not actually been too well. And I've been so busy with gigs and work and just life going on that I just actually haven't got had chance to go and see them. The last time I saw them was nearly about 3 4 weeks ago when they brought my air fryer. And then they was quite ill and they'd gone into hospital, and I couldn't get to go and visit them, and my dad was doing a good job in sort of like visiting them, and then they came back home and they had like a really bad like pneumonia or like a bad like chesty cold, and I thought I don't want to catch that with the gigs I've got coming up. So I'm going over today for a good few hours, and I'm gonna go and obviously enjoy a bit of time and go and see them and stuff like that. And it should be a shed load of fun. But we did 4 events this weekend, 3 gigs, smashed them all in, and it's made my love for this whole music just, it's made it grow even more. So I'm proper buzzed. So yeah, that's the weekend, the mega weekend. So next weekend I'm in Sunderland, and there's something on the Friday which I can't say too much about. And I will be able to reveal all next weekend, and hopefully I'll be talking good things about it. What this is that I've kind of it's been brewing up for ages, and I know like completely myself like everything is not as perfect as I would have wanted it to be. I'm still looking forward to it to an extent, but I definitely know myself that there's definitely some things to learn. It's a learning curve. There's some things to learn from, and I just know that I could, there's things where I definitely would need to improve on, but hopefully the whole idea and the thought is there, and the thought being there, and and it being actually fun is kind of like the main thing I want to kind of grasp out of it. Um, you know, but like I say, I can't say too much. But sort of after Friday, I will be able to sort of say a little bit more about it. And then we're in Sunderland on Saturday, and I'm supposed to be just emceeing there. Am I looking forward to it? I am looking forward to going up to Sunderland. Am I looking forward to emceeing? Not especially. As I say, I am kind of like more into the DJing nowadays. Uh, I'd have been way more excited if I was playing a DJ set. But I am just hosting. So, but that's next weekend. That is Bounceology, celebrating Gemma Janko's birthday. I feel like I celebrate a lot of people's birthdays. Twisted Chris, Alondo's. Loads of times we turn up at people's birthday bashes, and we do sets, or we grab the mic, or something goes on. So make sure to like, comment, share. A little bit of FL Studio time for me now, before I get ready to go and grab the train, because I am working on a track. I'm just doing a revamp of a remix that I did nearly 2 years ago, and there's a few things I'd have changed on it, and I lost the project files, so I'm kind of doing a newer version. So like, comment, share, peace.